Welcome back to WGLNA Season 2, Week number 3, Day number 1. We have 3 exciting days of matches planned for you, and then after that we have the tiebreakers and playoffs to determine who will be joining us in Las Vegas. I am Joshua Gray, call sign Clutch, joined by Randall Holcomb, call sign Rookhill, and Colby Brooks, call sign Junior. Great to have you on the set, man. You're doing a great job.
I try. Try my hardest at everything.
No bias to some of the tankers here. And our face-off is ready. Wreak Havok versus Cat Fast Nation. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Gentlemen, good evening.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Clutch.
Hey, Abrasive. Let's start with you. Cat Fast Nation, you guys had a tough season. No wins yet. You went up against Pub Stars, No Limit, Bernal Empires, Game Over, and Cunningham's. But still, we're glad you're in the league. I'm sure you guys are learning a lot about how to get better and better as a team. How are you approaching this game against Wreak Havok?
To say we're a little disappointed, to put it lightly, as you said, but we're definitely having fun. We're playing out the rest of the season that we signed up for, so it's good practice for us. In any case, to possibly take it further, maybe for some of the players in some of the next seasons.
Right. That's a great attitude to have, because even though Season 2, we're in the last week of it, there's still going to be plenty of seasons around the corner. Season 3 already planned. And, if you can make it to Vegas just on your own, we encourage you to do so. But if you can't, then we'll be rooting for you for season number 3. So thank you for playing it out. Wreak Havok, call me Sarge. You guys are 2-3 right now. You defeated Fulcrum and Bernal Empires. You had a shootout loss against Game Over, No Limit, and Cunningham's. Your thoughts, feelings of your team so far in week number 3 and this matchup against Cat Fast Nation?
We're coming in after a good talk. To be honest with you, we'll have to see when the battle starts. But other than that, I gotta say Cat Fast has been more consistent than we have. So
that's one way to put it. Do you have any more words for Cat Fast Nation, Wreak Havok, before we start the battle?
No, look forward to the fight and have fun.
Okay. Any response, Abrasive?
We'll try to make sure Sarge doesn't fall asleep, but
Well, he's standing up, so that's step number 1. Call me Sarge, you have the higher seed.
Don't lock the knees. Don't lock the knees.
Don't lock your knees, Sarge.
he's starting, dude.
Yeah, the higher seed, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads is the call. Let's go and flip the coin. It is heads, so will you choose the map or defer?
I'll defer.
They will defer. Cat Fast Nation, what will be your map?
We'll pick Cliff.
Cliff will be the first map. What will be the spawn point for Wreak Havok?
South side.
South side for Wreak Havok. Cat Fast Nation will take the north on Cliff. Gentlemen, best of luck.
Thanks.
Taking a look at these lineups, we got a missing tank for Cat Fast Nation, but they've still got enough tier 8s. They got a Pershing, a T-69, 3 1390s, but only one T1 Cunningham for Wreak Havok. 5100, a Pershing, T-69, 2 1390s. Really dynamic lineup there from Wreak Havok. They're going to have both of their T1s. It's going to be on Cat Fast Nation to make sure they can get that Wreak Havok T1 kill as soon as possible, or else I feel like Wreak Havok is going to have that cap pressure advantage on Cat Fast Nation.
Smokey perhaps playing the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to bringing a heavy tank with the 5100 compared to an IS-3 we saw from Simp. That center play looks like they're going to have some firefights. Initially here, nothing landing yet, nobody firing yet. But scouting is happening here. Here's Hot Frog trying to line up a shot. Nope, Dirt's able to swallow that one.
And at the same time, I got a 1390 hitting Invade. That was Rummy. And then Bananas to the Wall Host being his battle buddy. They are just there. 2 hits onto Invade. He's down to 653.
Now 419, and he's not going to dodge down the mountain. He's going to stay in the area, but hug the rock to his left. And that is some serious HP going down for Unknown Ones, Smokey, and Invade. They've taken some shots, but Yokobo has taken a couple hits on his side for Cat Fast Nation.
Wow, that's not bad opening for Cat Fast Nation. Really bringing it to Wreak Havok. More shots coming out onto Call Me Sergeant, Unknown One from Rummy. And someone else must have got a connection too, because I saw 2 hits going out on members of Wreak Havok. They may have a T1 down, but they have a health advantage like you would not believe.
Shot firing from Rummy. It is a miss against Hot Frank, but now he fires back along with Smokey. They are able to land some shots against Rummy. Abrasive takes another hit. Rummy at 109, and Invade out of his hidey hole is able to get that kill. But here comes Godzilla mode in the 1390 on top of the mountain. He gets the kill against Call Me Sarge. Unknown One at 414, and the Pershing is going to back up slowly, and a couple shots moving in against the Pershing Abrasive. Unknown One is going to use the husk of his dead friend as a hold-down position. Unfortunately, his shot does not land against Abrasive. He has to be cautious of his right side flank from that mountain. But if anything does pop up, Sniper Food may be able to spot it before anyone else does.
And now Bananas the wall host will scare Invade out of his little hidey hole. Invade having to jump down the hill. Bananas the wall host will chase him and will actually track himself going down the hill. At this same time, it doesn't look like any members of Wreak Havok are actually going to come back to help out Invade. Bananas the wall host stopping to get his shot, and he will miss the first shot.
Invade will see Angel of Darkness around the corner. No, Angel's going to wait. He is able to scout Invade, or it could be the proximity scouting happening. Yep, the T1 is able to scout him. Angel of Darkness trying to force that fire out of Invade. Invade does fire from his 1390, but that's another shot out of his drum that he is going to have to contemplate, since he's still up against Bananas to the wall host with 1100 HP.
He's going to close the distance. Invade jukes forward, and Bananas jukes to the left. And there, Invade will not be able to escape from Bananas to the wall host.
2 misses from Invade against Bananas here. And now he's able to hit him. 30 HP left in the 1390.
Numerous misses from these 1390s. Bananas actually catches fire for a second. And is his turret's broken? I think Bananas to the wall host has a broken turret or something.
He's not moving it very well. He's only trying to move his hull of his tank.
He is
now
having
it's
some trouble trying to control himself. And he's going to keep backing up, as Invade's going to have an easy time kiting out Bananas to the wall host. And actually elsewhere, that is Hot Frank going down somewhere else on the map. A fight is happening elsewhere. I'm going to go jump to that clutch. You stay here.
I'll stick with Invade and Bananas to the wall host. Invade still waiting on the recap.
And Abrasive takes down Smokey in the middle of the map. That is huge. Catfast Nation is going to be able to win this. 2 misses
on both sides. Invade and Bananas to the wall host. Bananas to the wall host misses again. Invade gets the kill.
This is a 1v1. He can kill Abrasive. Abrasive, though, has the high ground advantage, and also Invade is currently spotted. Abrasive lining up the shot from and he does connect. That is a victory for Catfast Nation, starting with a T1 down.
People are trying to adjust their bets in chat, but you can't. You already locked in your bets before the battle start, and right now Catfast Nation is winning against Wreak Havok. It's only been 1 battle so far, but it's beginning of a series. I feel that we could possibly see an upset. Catfast Nation, though, looking at their track record for the league, 0 wins so far. Wreak Havok is 2-3. This is more of an advantage win for Wreak Havok with their points. Catfast Nation really is not going to make it to Vegas. They're playing just to make it through the league.
But they could disrupt Wreak Havok.
They
Wreak
could.
Havok is, you said, 2-3. Can they make it if they go 2-4? Is it possible that someone can overtake them?
Oh, man, I would say maybe in tiebreakers.
That's not good, because that's a chance for Wreak Havok to
And it would
come. And
it would be like a tiebreaker into the playoffs, probably, in that scenario.
wow. And who would have expected Wreak Havok not making it to the finals? Or at least them being that far out? Because with the way they've been performing, you would expect them to have made it almost just based on that performance. It was so great.
It was great.
And I had not come to terms with this yet. Wreak Havok, we might not see them in the finals. We might see other teams instead.
It's very possible. Like I said, Game Over is on a really, really good streak of wins right now. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll get Junior's thoughts on that series after this special debut of a new segment. Stay tuned.
For the Catfast Nation, we have an IS-15 loadout. They will have every single Tier 8 and IS-3, whereas Wreak Havok will have a much more standard loadout, 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s.
Well, I appreciate the engineering and power of the IS-3, but the Alpha Strike and the speed of such a heavy tank won't be very effective on a surround from some 5100s, and that's what Wreak Havok is bringing to the table here. And it looks like they're going to be doing some hill play with those 5100s. A lot of hill play. Every team has gone to the hill on this map so far.
Teams are really recognizing what they can do and their flexibility with the hill. It's just a matter of understanding where your limitations are and how much you need to commit, how much is too much, and how much is just enough. And teams are still, a lot of teams will just say, hey, let's send everything. This team, for example, we see Wreak Havok sending just 2 5100s. That's a pretty decent amount. Now, they could put up a pretty decent fight even up against 5 tanks.
But the only opposition they're going to find, Rookhill, coming up on the other side is Bananas to the Wall host, and he is the only T1 for Fast Nation. Unfortunately, they are down a man, so that means the top tier point they can bring total is 41, and the best decision to make is not to have one of the T1s on your team. But the T1 on the team of Wreak Havok, Tevix will be scouting the castle section a little bit ahead of the rest of the heavies. Bit of a sacrificial play, but it's okay because he can gather information that's required for those 2 heavies that have taken the hill. Doesn't see anything, so therefore the other heavies are going to push up to that side, going around the outskirts to try to avoid any unnecessary spotting and information gathering. Bananas to the Wall host did not see anything according to my screen, so that means him leaving the hill is going to leave it completely open.
Yep.
For some great positions from Thybane and Invade.
I do believe that Fast Nation is a bit afraid for the positioning on Himmelsdorf. You can see that the IS-15 setup is in the top left 25% of the map, even less than that even. Bananas to the Wall host on the 8 line. So what I believe Fast Nation is expecting is a middle 8 line play that they didn't see in the early game. And because Wreak Havok played so smart getting on that hill, they have complete control of the map right now, and it's really in their hands to lose the game.
And
we
their
can
hands
see
to lose the game is a
Yes.
intriguing way to put it. But what were we going to finish up with, Junior?
I was going to say we could see Tevix moving into a position here. Bananas getting spotted, Tevix getting spotted. It's going to trigger both these teams, and as I expected, Wreak Havok coming up the 8. Thybane and the other 5100 Invade should do a delayed push here, and I think we're going to see a quick cap pressure and fight.
It's quite a possibility. Call Me Sarge in the IS-3 gets the first blood, taking down Bananas to the Wall host. Call Me Sarge was in the tank alley position, and this could be the proper setup, or a bit of a fake, that Wreak Havok could have force Fast Nation to set up here. They think they're coming from the tank alley, where you have these 5100s ready to set up a side flank from those tanks positioning themselves to stop a push coming down that D line. The
And Tevix
IS-3
will be
Rummy
spotted.
is seen, though.
And then he will back off. All right. For a second, I thought Rummy was going to be able to get that shot. He is in a keyhole position defending the cap. He's going to be very difficult to dig out. However, many shots can pen, and we've seen with members of Wreak Havok even just still making the shots on hull-down IS-3s. Just such expert marksmanship out of these players, understanding where to shoot an IS-3, just right in the top. That little plate, looking at right there, is so thin. Shots from IS-3s and will pen. They just will. And there is Invade, actually, along with Thybane getting... There is Thybane taking a huge connection down to 1029. That is fantastic positioning out of Rummy. I don't know what Wreak Havok was doing there, driving in front of an IS-3 and hull down.
That does trigger... sorry for cutting you off a bit. That does trigger, though, Yokobu, Godzilla, Abrasive, all moving into the middle. We're going to see a huge fight go down here. And I think Fast Nation, thinking that they were in the middle, are going to react to that. And that's going to ensue a huge disadvantage as Rummy is out, and Tevix can easily get on cap if Wreak Havok keep moving here.
Well, huge bounces out of Wreak Havok will actually put them at a disadvantage at this 5v4. Call Me Sarge down to 747, Hot Frank down to 690, and there goes Call Me Sarge. Now it's a 4v4, advantage going to Fast Nation.
And Rummy on the flank already. Moving in, he's going to probably take down Hot Frank as he's on the back foot. Invade on the back foot. Thybane in a horrible position, should have kept moving. And they're just at a huge disadvantage. Health going down everywhere. Tevix on cap, and Rummy in the perfect position. Fast Nation, I think, has won this.
Well, Rummy just has to keep that location and keep a couple shots streaming through that alleyway. Invade trying to hide in the 5100. Hot Frank at 690. Is trying to help out Unknown One. Thybane gets the kill against Godzilla in that IS-3, but there goes Unknown One. Angel of Darkness takes him out. Hot Frank is going to use the husk of his dead friend to try to stay alive, but Rummy is able to clean up Invade, and that means only one heavy tank is still left alive. His name is Thybane, and he is on the run. Away from these IS-3s, they can be patient and line up the shots, and there's a beautiful shot from Abrasive, and Yokobo gets the kill against Hot Frank. Another tank still left alive, 2 T1s. Snipe for food goes down. Tevix, the last remaining tank for Wreak Havok, is on the flag with 40 seconds left. Plenty of time for Cap Bass Nation to move around the corner and get the kill. This means that Cap Bass Nation, gentlemen, is one battle away from destroying Wreak Havok and earning their first league win. This
is huge.
Huge. This is probably, if this happens, one of the biggest upsets to have happened in league play since Wreak Havok defeating Fulcrum Gaming. Cap Bass Nation is one battle away from beating the team that beat Fulcrum, the #1 team from Season 1.
Yeah, although Wreak Havok has had a lot of trouble winning. They lost to Cunningham's. I feel like if has their defeat against Cunningham's really just killed their morale, killed their competitiveness.
I think it was their defeat against Game Over that jumbled them up a little bit. And because of that, they've been trying to recover, maybe try some things different, be a little bit more creative. And unfortunately, it has not worked in their favor for a number of their matches.
Yeah, because this is something surprising out of Wreak Havok.
It is surprising. It is surprising. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll get some more thoughts on that game and on the series because we're still one battle away from Cap Bass Nation taking it or a huge comeback from Wreak Havok. Stay tuned. You're watching WGLNA.
Taking a look at Cap Bass Nation, they're going to bring a T-32, T-69, and 2 AMX 1390s for Wreak Havok. 2 T-32s, a Pershing, and 2 1390s. Interesting lineups. This could be a slow game. It's definitely taking place in the middle of the map. You see pings going down right now. I'm waiting for these 1390s maybe to begin some kind of engagement in the middle. Opening scout runs going out from either side.
Well, nothing scouted yet because they haven't reached that cross point here for the crossroads on the EF line. And now we're going to see some scouting. Invade sees Yokobo peeking up around the corner. Invade's going to just go for it for a bit.
Very aggressive scout run out of Invade. A bit risky. He could have taken hits from Rummy, but I guess Rummy was not prepared for that at all, and so he will get a very strong scout opening, able to spot, I'm pretty sure, most every member of Cap Bass Nation. That will give Wreak Havok the intel they need to possibly react to this opening, maybe make some appropriate changes. You see Snipe for Food all the way in E1, Snipe for Food in a T1. However, Invade is a little bit further to the west. He's all the way in E2. He might be able to punish Abrasive if Abrasive is not turning his turret quite the right way.
Yep, not a bad spot for where they're at. The T-32 is going to be backing. They're going to go back and forth a little bit, but not too much. They don't want to lose that ground in their position. They want to use the crest of the hill in a hold-down position. Shots will bounce off their turrets. That's the ideal place for them, and that's why you bring him to this map. And I'm surprised, but happily surprised, to see my favorite tank on this map used over and over and over again. However, I'm a little bit wary of this choice of 2 of them instead of one of the Pershings, because Wreak Havok should be more of an offensive play here, and having a Pershing or even another 1390 and using that east control, maybe even getting up on the hill as we've seen some teams go for, would have been better for them. If they were up 2-0 and were playing for the draw, which they would still be in the advantage of doing so, I could see them bring the T-32s. Maybe they have something up their sleeve, maybe they feel confident with it, thinking that Cap Bass Nation maybe play more aggressive. Tevix is going to be the one on the other side of the train tracks, and he could be getting some crucial information here as he scouts a little bit to the south, but he's going to turn around and go to the north.
At the same time, all these 1390s for Cap Bass Nation are just making donuts in the east side of the map. They're not really trying to actually scout much right now, as it looks like they were just trying to kill a little time, and it now looks like they're starting to get an idea of what they want to do. Godzilla Mode has stopped, placed himself in a bush, looking for those cross shots, and Thybane, along with, the both T-32s, Thybane and Call Me Sarge, are moving east. It looks like Unknown One might be doing the same. Invade and Hot Frank are both moving. Oh, wow. T1, Sniper Food has gone down. Abrasive has taken him down. Did he even get spotted? I didn't even get time.
I didn't see any light bulbs pop up on Abrasive on his side. It's possible that he was, but I missed it, but did not see it.
He was for a small amount of time, yes.
Okay.
Ooh, unlucky for Sniper Food. That will even it up. Those are the kind of things, those little things that Cap Bass Nation needs so much. They are down a T1, and a T1 represents so much vision. And, oh, wow, there is Abrasive getting a nice shot out on Call Me Sarge, taking Call Me Sarge down to 12:38 right now. More advantages going to Wreak Havok. They are, well, sorry, to Cat Fast
Cat
Nation.
Fast Nation,
Yes.
and now a shot against Abrasive. He'll be the first one to take damage on his side. 13-15 out of 15-50, still in the fight, but another shot against Rummy, and he takes a hit. Thybane in the T-32 along with the Pershing trying to line up another shot, but Thybane gets hit himself. Unknown one in the Pershing in an angled position, has not getting target fired. The T-32 is from way far away. He doesn't know where it's coming from. And now he's trying to get behind the building, and he recognizes that that is not the proper place to go. Another hit against Thybane from far away. 428 at a 1550.
These are 1390s.
He's getting shot down.
These are 1390s Yukabu and Godzilla mode all the way up into B2. These flank shots are just ripping apart these T-32s. It's just positioning is not working for Wreak Havok. They need to get back down into the low ground or they're just going to lose all of their tanks, all of their health points.
Cat Fast Nation is now one Tier 8 tank above Wreak Havok. They are now above in tier points at 41, having a disadvantage already. Keep in mind, they have been down a tank this entire series, and they are beating Wreak Havok.
And this positioning, it reminds me exactly like the Simple Tankers Fulcrum game at the finals in Vegas. The positioning is so great for Cat Fast Nation. If they get a couple light tanks up in A3, they can move those and flank with them when the engagement happens. And if Wreak Havok tries to move out of the position they're in, they have perfect shots all the way down into their sides. And it's fantastic play by Cat Fast Nation because they noticed that the whole West was given up, and they've taken it, and they're making it work. They're making shots land, and
But
that's
what can Wreak
what they
Havok do?
have to
I
do.
feel like they have to use these 1390s that is Hot Frank and Invade, which are just hanging back right now.
Really, they have to push the issue on the South and force Cat Fast Nation to move. They can't exactly support the South in the position that they're in right now. So if you get them to move just a little, make them think a little, you can make it an advantageous position out of that E5, E6 area. But as of right now, they just can't do it because they're allowing their enemy to not quite surround them, but to get shots anytime that they move.
Yeah, and having that HP value increase in your favor, getting that advantage more and more, it allows you to push in when you want, because once you're able to target fire one of those tanks,
Well, push
and
in
you only
when
have
you
to
want,
use
Clutch.
to the
Here.
T-69s.
They're
Here they
pushing
go.
in.
Here they go. Unknown ones will be the first one to see him in his Pershing as he's just above the crest of the hill. Rummy will be able to take down to the south side, shooting across the whole map, or half the map, that T1, so no flag capture will happen. Godzilla Mode takes a hit in his 1390. But here comes Abrasive in his T32 trying to lock down a crossfire position. Rummy's able to lock down another hit against Call Me Sarge. Call Me Sarge, however, allows the bounce, and Abrasive gets the kill. T32 takes him down. The Pershing is under some serious fire, and here comes Bananas to the wall host in the 1390, ready to dish out the killing blow, the execution of the Pershing. However, one of the shots looked like they missed. He's going to have to time it a little bit better here. Here comes Hot Frank in the 1390 trying to help the Pershing to stay alive. Bananas to the wall host taking some serious damage, though, and the Pershing that was able to hold off for so long gets killed along with the 1390. Invade, the only one left alive for Wreak Havok. This is a huge loss, potential loss here, and if Invade is somehow able to dodge all of these tanks and bring it to a draw, it is possible 3 minutes. Yokovo tries to track him, though, in a shot here.
I don't see a draw happening with 3 minutes. They got cap pressure. It's a minute and a half.
There's always a chance, though.
Yes.
There's a very slim chance.
But we're realists here.
Let's talk about how he could do it. So if he would have taken a turn to the hill and slid down the zero line unseen through those bushes, he may have got back to reset cap and then maybe strung out the game. But he didn't do that, and it was slim chance, if any. So, unfortunately, I have to call it for
And
Cat
that's
Fast
it.
Nation.
Cat Fast Nation defeats Wreak Havok 3-0 in their first league win. And this brings Wreak Havok down 2-4. And as we were talking about previously, what does that mean in the league matchup and the standings? We'll have to find out at the end of the night. But it means it's going to be even harder for Wreak Havok to make it to Las Vegas. Cat Fast Nation, unfortunately, is not going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, 98%
There's
sure, that's not going to happen. But
I feel like there's a tiny chance, especially with the way Wreak
Well,
Havok's
right now-
record is going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking like there's a chance that they could make it there in some kind of tiebreaker and then a playoff. Maybe.
it's a very fleeting chance, but it's
Yep.
still there. So I'm not going to completely rule it
Dismiss
out.
it, yeah.
But when you have 0 wins and 5 losses, we're not considering you to be at Vegas. Just we're not. That's how
Yeah.
the league stands. But after today's victory, even if they don't make it to Vegas, I'm going to be considering Cat Fast Nation to be the team to look out for, with maybe not the top performing team at the beginning, but this is a wild card now, seeing their performance at the end of season 2. Maybe this was a fluke, though. This is just one example. We're going to have more from Cat Fast Nation to see how they do.
Yeah, you call it a fluke. I say Cat Fast Nation is on the upswing. They're bringing us much better game. Wreak Havok, not as strong as they were. They've really lost momentum.
Unfortunately, that is the case, as we have seen. Junior, your thoughts?
I think that Wreak Havok starting off strong, as you guys stated earlier, that game over match. It just seems like it something clicked in their heads after that, and they've been on a downward spiral since, which is unfortunate because they came into the league so strong, and even in that game over matchup, I have to give it to them that they had them at 2-0. And when they actually lost that, everybody in the office knows that I was very heated after it. I didn't expect it, and I certainly didn't enjoy it. And
Yeah, after the third match, which went to a draw against Game Over, right? It went to a draw on steps. It changed the momentum of the whole match. It gave Game Over a chance to come back.
Yep.
Wreak Havok lost their momentum after a draw. Something must have happened on steps. They effectively had it won. Like as far as tanks went, they had it won. But because we don't have an 8-point rule, there was no winner. It was a draw, and they lost that momentum. It's just is
and
that
then
where it started?
they basically shut off, and it went to the shootout. They lost the shootout, and from that point on, it's really been from that point on that they have been losing momentum, and it seems like they're at a negative loss right now. They're at terminal velocity going towards the ground.
Well, you're only as good as your weakest link, and right now Wreak Havok's going to have to find out what that weakest link is. Not saying it's a certain individual, but a play,
A
strategy,
style.
an attitude adjustment perhaps of what they bring to the table when it comes to planning their strategy for this map. Because right now, positioning with the T-32s, when they were taking fire, it was like they weren't considering the danger at all with what was happening. And they're going to have to make a readjustment there in tactics of if you're taking fire, you need to back up and get out of that fire, no matter where you think it's coming from or how much you underestimate or overestimate a team. You have to play the tactics necessary to survive and win in every specific scenario.
It could even be the fact that they're trying to be too aggressive, that they're in the
Possibly.
position
No.
that they are getting to, they want to assault, but they're not getting in a good position.
On Prohorovka, I think that bringing T-32s and the way Wreak Havok is playing is really passive. It's hard to do that, be aggressive with 32s, because of maneuverability. You're trying to fight light tanks and medium tanks mostly, and if you're trying to do that, you're going to have trouble doing that in T-32s. You're going to have to wait for your enemy to come to you. And if your enemy's not going to run straight into you, like we saw with Cazadores versus River of Blood earlier today, I don't think T-32s are the optimal choice for Prohorovka. They're better on other maps. You can bring maybe one, especially if you want to have a very slow passive play. But 2 of them on a map like this, against lineups like this, you're just going to get taken apart. It's just not the most optimal strategy.
Switch them to Pershings if you want to have that hold down position with the turret strength of the armor, but having the quick mobility of a 1390 or T69 on this map, when you're down 0-2, you want to have that mobility.
The huge thing between the Pershings and the T-32s, you get 48 kilometers an hour over that T-32. You do get the awesome hold down positioning with it. And a change like that could have been the change that would have made the game. Because if they were in that E6 position again, a Pershing could get towards the south with those 1390s and completely change the momentum.
Well, let's talk a little bit more before we take a break of what Cat Fast Nation did right. Because this was their win. It wasn't, it's not all about, well, Wreak Havok should have done this and this and this and this. Because, of course, we could say that till Kingdom Come, but it's all about the performance. And the performance was Cat Fast Nation performed well.
Correct.
And they continually had HP value advantages in every engagement.
And they also, when they engage, you touched on it, that Wreak Havok, they were getting hit and not backing off. I seen from the opposite perspective that Cat Fascination did that correctly. They would get a shot come in, and even if it didn't connect, they were taking that into account. They were assessing those dangers and backing off from it before they got into the mentality of, well, you shot me, I'm going to shoot you back.
Yeah, that trading blows.
Correct. It's too much adrenaline going through the system and too much testosterone, and they weren't going to let that affect them tonight. Yeah. So pretty good play on Cat Fascination's part, and positioning. They didn't allow themselves to climb up. They kept moving. It was a fantastic play.
Although I felt like on Himmelsdorf,
they did climb up rather in the beginning.
They climbed up pretty well. Yeah. The IS-15 strat, and then Wreak Havok came in with what was theoretically the correct answer. You guys all agree that's correct, the answer theoretically.
Yes.
It's just that crucial bounces early on in that fight set them back. It was a 5v4, but they didn't ever get to make it a real 5v4
because they basically, they had a 5100 stopped in a position, didn't keep moving. They didn't keep the momentum forward. So they evened out in one firing lane versus another firing lane, and they just had the disadvantage because they clammed up into one area, they allowed a flank to happen, and they weren't making their shots count. And when you have those autoloaders versus those IS-3s, it's not the proper reaction to back up once you lose that, because those IS-3s fired and you have 5 more shots. So if they take that forward position, the proactive approach, then they could put themselves in a fantastic position. Flanking, they have numbers, but unfortunately we didn't see that. So, and the one thing that we do have to take into account is we can see the mini-map both sides at all times.
Of course.
We can see both teams, so we can beat them up all we want, but there may just be something that they didn't see. They may have not seen Rummy out of position because Tevix wasn't
No, they
quite.
definitely saw Rummy out of position.
Okay, so
what happened? They saw Rummy. They assessed the situation, and from their approach, it was obvious. They knew the right answer. They knew their enemy's position, and they understood what they needed to do. However, when it came to the execution, there was maybe it was hesitation. I really think it was hesitation, and it was just Wreak Havok not being there mentally, not having that synergy, that confidence
it
to
could
push
have been
forward.
From the first game that their front runner in that push just got hit, and he wanted somebody behind him, his battle buddy, to move forward.
When Call Me Sarge took that hit, he went back.
Yeah,
and you can't stop. You can't stop if you're gonna make a push. Like it's a herd mentality. It's not intentional. And it's hard to not react. If you're in a group of people, you try to go around a corner, first guy stops, you lose trust that he's going to go around the corner. And it doesn't matter if you
must overcome the natural man in World of Tanks in order to perform well. All right, let's go ahead and take a break, guys. We're going to jump into our next battle after this. That's going to be Bernal Empires versus Pub Stars. Stay tuned. You're watching WGLNA.